Who's your big winner from today's practice?
I mean, I think I could say this for every single practice that I've watched this year, but Micah Parsons. I'm writing about it right this second in an Irvine Starbucks. Like, the guy's a freak. He does everything, and he does it really well, and I thought he gave the Chargers fits all afternoon.
Well, Dave, was it something, because we saw a blitz where he went like A-gap, I believe, on it and got a sack. Was it scheme stuff they were doing, or did you kind of feel like that there was some creative things, or was he just straight being a beast today?
I don't think these practices are super heavy on scheme. Like, you're not trying to completely flummox anybody. I just think you want to get good looks. So, I mean, it wasn't anything we haven't seen him do before. He did, he had the sack. I think he went up against Larry Roundtree, the backup running back for LA.
Yeah.
He wound up on a back, and it was just game over. But, I mean, he had a sack coming off the edge. I got a video of it on my Twitter account. He beat the backup tackle around the edge and, like, slapped Herbert on the chest, kind of just like to say, like, hey, just in case there was any doubt, I won this rep. Like, this play is over. I thought it was really funny. Just kind of gave him a love tap. But, I mean, he was in coverage as well. Like I said, I mean, it's all the same stuff we saw him do in Oxnard against his own team, but maybe it's just a little more fun to see him do it against somebody else.
Did any part of you, Dave, feel a little bit bad for Anthony Barr having to chase Austin Eckler all the way down the sideline at one point? I'm sure that was like, dang it, my first day back, and I got to run with Eckler 40 yards down the field? This is not fair.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to football after taking the offseason off. Go do 7-on-7, which is inherently unfair to the defense anyway. And, oh, by the way, cover the best receiving back in football. Yeah, I thought that was a little rough. And, I expect Anthony Barr to lose that battle 10 out of 10 times. So, bad draw there for Anthony.
Did you see him? Was he doing anything else, though? Like, did we get to see him rush the passer or anything like that?
I mean, he was out there. He did practice. I'll be honest. I draw a blank on how much he did in the full team. I think he was on a little bit of a pitch count. They're not just going to throw him in there and have him do everything. I couldn't tell you a true highlight that I saw. But again, I don't think they were asking him to do a ton on the first day back.
David, a lot of focus has been on the offensive line and how it plays out, or how it's going to play out with the reps. Tyler Smith, first team left guard today, or was it Connor McGovern?
Okay, so I'm going to be very upfront with you right off the bat, Brian. You know how this goes. I mean, it's basically two practices happening.
So you were on two different fields is the problem. Yeah.
I made up my mind right off the bat. I was like, all of the star power is over here on the Dallas defense field. Like, I want to see Parsons, I want to see Diggs. Although I will say, but I did manage to look across the field, and I know Connor McGovern was working with the first team today. Like, He did take first team reps. So, but I'm not going to be super helpful talking Dallas offense with you today.
Okay, then. So your Dallas defense, then Bland had a really nice game against the Broncos. With no Jordan Lewis today, did that kick Anthony Brown inside at nickel, and did Deron Bland play on the outside?
No, it was AB doing a lot of stuff on the outside. I don't remember AB being in the slot. And I mean, I think Jordan did hurt his hammy today, but like, he was out there. Jordan practiced. Yeah, he practiced a lot today. So if he did ding his leg up, then it happened toward the end of practice. So I mean, it was a lot of AB on the outside. Jordan was in the slot. I think Deron Bland was primarily a nickelback. He had a nice breakup in one-on-ones today. Nothing super stands out from team period. But honestly, and like, I'll be honest, like, I wanted to see Herbert. I thought the Chargers were going to bomb away on these guys today.
Sure.
And other than maybe the Eckler, like the one we just talked about, the Eckler bust in 7-on-7, like, I don't remember the Chargers getting a ton of long completions. There were a few busts. Keenan Allen had a really long reception where somebody just lost him. Like, there was a miscommunication where he was just all by himself. But like, as far as stretching the field, Herbert was either checking down or not completing his long attempts like all day. I think like one of the last reps of practice, he went after Diggs on a go ball, and it bounced out of bounds, fell incomplete, and I think that was kind of the story of the day is for such an explosive offense, I didn't feel like the Chargers put together a ton of explosive plays.
It's David Helman, Fox Sports Cowboys Insider with you here on the Fan. Dave, can the Cowboys take another big step defensively and try to lead the league in points allowed? Is that a realistic goal for this upcoming season?
I struggle with that because I'm a big believer. There's just so much variance in defense. Unless you really have a once-in-a-generation group like the old Seattle defenses from a decade ago, I think it's hard to maintain defensive excellence because it's an oblong ball that bounces weird ways. The stats bear it out that the team that leads the league in takeaways one year very rarely comes close the next year. And I think so. I just think you're talking about a lot of luck and a lot of variance. But I do think, I think this is as talented as the Dallas defense has been in the 10 years that I've covered the team. And maybe it's a cop-out answer, but I think they need to, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because the more I watch this, and I'm sure the Dallas offense will be fine in the long run, especially when they get Michael Gallup back. But I don't watch this team practice and think it's a team that's going to win because of its offense. I think you're talking about if they're going to surpass the expectations in terms of win total, I think it's going to be on the defense to keep them in every game and win 2 or 3 of them. That's the expectation for me anyway, is that I think this defense needs to be one that can lead as opposed to just not messing it up, which is what they were for so long.
David, you tweeted about Quinton Bohanna getting work with the first team, and is it basically base stuff, or were they? Was it? How did you see him being used?
Yeah, man. I think that's a lot of early down. Obviously, I think you want Quinton Bohanna on the field when there's a good element of a run threat. I don't think Quinton Bohanna is going to be part of your NASCAR package.
Sure.
So I think it was a lot of base, early down, long distances, stuff like that. But I just kind of had a moment where I was like, man, every single time the ones come in a base situation, it's 98 and not 96. And I think I came into the season thinking Neville Gallimore 96, being a main starter. I kind of thought of it as a foregone conclusion. And to your point, all of this is going to depend on personnel, and we know how much Dan Quinn likes to mix and match. It's so much different from Rod Marinelli, where it was the 11 starters are going to play all of the time, and then you rotate as need be. That's not really Dan Quinn's style. So, there's plenty of snaps to go around. But yeah, it continues to catch my eye. Maybe start thinking of Quinton Bohanna as a guy competing for starter caliber snaps.
Dave, we got some one-on-one O-line, D-line pass rush. I feel like we haven't gotten much of that from the Cowboys this camp. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing it all when we were out there. Did anything stand out to you from that standpoint with the pass rushers getting after each other?
And you're right. We have not seen – I think we saw it one day in Oxnard. It really hasn't been a main component. I didn't, and maybe I missed it. Y'all go to practice. So it's impossible to keep your eye on everything. I didn't see anything that super stood out. I know Rashawn Slater practiced today. I know he did, but I didn't see as much of him as I was hoping for. I thought we were going to watch a Micah versus Slater clinic. I was really hoping to just see them getting after each other over and over again. It really didn't feel like it materialized, but just in general, I thought the Dallas pass rush had a whale of a day today. Micah was Micah. Terrell Basham had another interception today. Oso Digizua and Neville Gallimore each had a sack. Dante Fowler got in there. Somebody batted down a pass. I thought the Chargers' offensive line was on its heels for most of the afternoon.
And Dave, I'm going to take one final shot at this thing. Any kicking done that you saw with the Cowboys field goal kickers?
No, I didn't see any. Kicks at all, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Which is, now that you mention it, I know maybe it's because that happened on the other field. I didn't see it though, and now that you mention it, I'm like, man, that is kind of interesting. I didn't see Brett Maher today, which he has yet to kick in a practice setting. So something to keep an eye on tomorrow for sure.
Dave, how old do you feel knowing that on this day 15 years ago, Superbad was released?
It makes me feel really old, to be honest with you, because I think I was like a junior or senior in high school, if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
God, yeah, I mean, we just keep having these milestones where, like, you know, so what, like kids who are old enough to drink were born in like 2001 now, and that
It ain't
freaks
right.
me out.
Yep.
The fact, like a kid, yeah, like, so if you turn 21 this year, you probably don't even remember Superbad coming out, and that is really terrifying because, like, I still think of myself as like a young person, and it's just not. It gets less and less true every day.